Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS. And this is the continuation of the prelims questions discussion. We have seen the geography questions and they are comparatively, generally we say it is easy to moderate. So you can attempt good number of questions in geography. But when it comes to ecology and environment, here the questions are factual. And moreover, the questions were asked on the species but not on the categories. Asked on the places. The questions were asked on certain reports. So more of the factual questions are there in the context of ecology and environments. So that's what this section of ecology and environment. It is somewhat moderate to difficult. And in fact, some questions are there which are more difficult. So hence, if you combine geography and ecology and environment, we say that it is somewhat between moderate to difficult one. And if you take the total score, somewhere around 85 to 90 is or maybe the expected cutoff for general category of the students. So I can say 85 plus is good score in this prelims. So keeping those things in the mind, we'll discuss the ecology and environment question. The first one was, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Now this is an independent agency which gives the data about the fossil fuels and other in US, which has made an assessment of the fossil fuels which are released by the ships, metallurgical industries, locomotives, etc. And according to the data, which is very factual one, it has highlighted that the amount of sulfur dioxide which is emitted is maximum among the power plants using the fossil fuels. And according to the data, it makes around 73% of the emission of sulfur dioxide. So hence the answer is D, which is factual and difficult rather. Now the second question is, consider the following: pyroclastic debris, ash and dust, nitrogen compounds, sulfur compounds. It seems to be a simple one or moderate one. But when you take the contents of the volcanic eruption, so during the volcanic eruption, we find the eruptions are all in the state of solid, and the eruption which is in the solid, we refer them as pyroclastic debris or tephras. Tephra. Right. So this is a solid which is ejected during the volcanic eruption. Along with that, gases are also released. And when the gases are considered, the gases are sulfur compounds, nitrogen compounds, and more amount of carbon compounds are also there. Along with that, it also consists of the liquid part, which is called as magma, which is very hot, maybe around 1500 to 2000 degree temperature. And along with that, it also releases large amount of dust particles, ash and dust, which accumulate along with the lava. So hence, all the four are released during the volcanic eruption. Next, the organisms, cicadas, froghopers, and pond skaters. So if you see all the three one, even if you read the froghopper, then you can identify that it is an insect. Or pond skater, which is on the surface of water, which uses surface tension to move on the water surfaces. And these cicadas, they were in the current affairs, more specifically in the month of April, which were the major problems in United States. Now many species of cicadas are there. Out of that, 2 or 3 species are there which emerge periodically. And generally they are not harmful. They do not make any harm. But they always make noise or sound, which is why they were in the news. So hence the cicadas, froghopers and the pond skaters all are insects. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. Many chewing gums found in the market are considered a source of environmental pollution. Apart from the consideration of environmental part, generally we say environment includes the pollution, mainly the plastic pollutions. The wrappers which are used in the chewing gums, they are one of the major polluters, plastic polluters. And the data shows that every year, annually, around 1 ton of plastic pollution is released through this gums. So hence the first statement is correct. Now the statement 2, many chewing gums contain plastic as gum base. Now in many chewing gums we find the plastics which are in the form of polyvinyl acetate. Vinyl acetate. Right. So hence the second statement is also correct. So both the statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Then consider the following with reference to the animals which are found in their natural habitats. Now if you take the animals, the Indri, the elk, the bonobo. If you see the first animal, Indri, this Indri animal is found in Madagascar. It is found in Madagascar and it is lemur species. Right. Then the second species, which is referred as the elk. Elk is a species of red deer. It is a species of red deer. And this red deer, it is found in Central Asia and North America. North America. Then the third species, which is referred as bonobo. So bonobo is found in Congo Basin or Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is one of the 4 great apes. This is one of the 4 great apes. Right. So hence if you see the statements and the objectives given there. So Indri, it is not found in Brazil, it is found in Madagascar. Elk, it is not found in Indonesia, it is found in Central Asia and North America. Then bonobo, it is found in Democratic Republic of Congo. So hence none of the statements are correct here. Right. Next, consider the following statements. Lions do not have a particular breeding season. Now this is a difficult question. Lions do not have a particular breeding season. So we find that when we talk about lions and breeding seasons, generally they breed throughout the year. They breed throughout the year. So the first statement is correct. Unlike most other big cats, cheetahs do not roar. So when we talk about the big cats, so these big cats are of 2 categories. The one categories which roar, we refer them as roaring category. And they include lion, tiger, leopard, jaguars, etc. And the second categories are purring categories, that is mewing ones, which mew. And in this purring category or mew, the cheetahs are there. Right. So hence the second statement is also correct. Now unlike the male lions, the male leopards do not use. So when we talk about the leopards, it may be male leopards or female leopards. They mark their territory by using either urine or using the fecus or rubbing to the trees. And they use them as a scent to locate or mark their territories. mark their territories. So hence the third statement is wrong here. So 1 and 2 are correct. Now this is a difficult question. Next, which one of the following shows a unique relationship with an insect that has co-evolved with it? Now here it is about co-evolution. Now co-evolution is a concept which is seen in ecology and environment. When two species, they both depend on each other and they both evolve, by which they survive in the desperate or any type of conditions. They make evolution. And by making evolution, they survive in any type of conditions there. So hence, the example with reference to co-evolved relationship is between the small insects called as wasps and a fig tree. Fig is also referred as anjeer fruit. Anjeer fruit, right? So hence, the correct answer is A, fig tree and the wasp. Now consider the following statements. How many of the above are poisonous species among them? Now when we take about these species, butterflies. Now there are certain butterflies like monarch butterfly. Monarch butterfly. So this monarch butterfly, it eats poisonous trees, or sorry, poisonous. It eats poisonous plants during its caterpillar stage. And when it becomes adult, they become poisonous one. So the best example is monarch butterfly. Then in fish also we find many species are poisonous. Take an example of the puffer fish, which is poisonous. Now again, when you talk about frog, in frog also we find certain species are poisonous where they store the poison in their skin. Example, the golden poison dart frog. Golden poison dart frog, where they store the poison in their skin. Right. So all the three are correct here. A factual one and a difficult one. Next, consider the following description. Annual and daily range of temperature. This already we have discussed in geography. And the correct answer for this is the marine west coast climate. That is the region beyond the Mediterranean climate in the western margins of the continents. Next. One of the following regions has the world's largest tropical peatland, which holds about 3 years worth of global carbon emission from the fossil fuels, and the possible destruction of which can exert detrimental effect on the global climate. Which one of the following denotes the region here? Now this is a report which is given by United Nations Environment Program. Now peatlands are also referred as the wetlands. They are also referred as the wetlands. And they are referred as important carbon sink, which store large amount of carbon dioxide. It means they do carbon sequestration. And according to the data which is given by them, the amount of the carbon dioxide which is stored in the Congo basin is around 29 billion tons. And this is along the Congo River, which is spread along the 6 countries. Now this peatland is also under the threat. The major threat associated here is deforestation, destruction, fragmentation of forest areas. And apart from that, even the climate change is also a major threat. So they highlighted that if the same process of destruction takes place in the Congo Basin. So possibly this peatland, which is referred as important carbon sink, it may start becoming a carbon emitter. And hence this was significantly highlighted in the report. And hence in this question, the referred area is Congo Basin. Right. Next, consider the following: carabid beetles, centipedes, flies, termites, wasps. Now here it is about parasitoids. Now parasitoids are generally we say insects which are in the larval stage. They grow or develop on some other species. They depend or grow on some other species, either inside or outside other species. And eventually they harm the species. Eventually they harm the species, that is the host species. And such larval stage parasites, we refer them as parasitoids. And again, it is a difficult one. And here if you take the examples, all the 5 are the parasitoids. Very factual. Right. Now, consider the following statement. This is a bit simple. The Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category in the Wildlife Protection Act. Now this vermin category means these are the animals which are threat to agricultural crops or to the socio-economic paths here, which can destroy the crops there. And this Indian flying fox is also referred as Indian fruit-eating bat. Fruit-eating bat. And as it is a threat to the fruits and crops, it has been identified as vermin category. Second, the Indian flying fox feeds on the bloods of other animals. So this is the wrong statement. It feeds on fruits, nectars of the flowers. It feeds on fruits and nectars of the flowers. So the second statement is wrong here. So hence the statement 1 is correct, but the statement 2 is incorrect. So this is easy one. Now this was also in the news because of the changes which were introduced in the Wildlife Act of 1972 in order to implement sites. Right. So hence this vermin category was in the news with reference to the sites. Apart from that, many states demanded the central government to declare certain species as vermin so that they can hunt them in the context of the destruction which is caused by them to the agricultural crops. Right. So overall we can say that the questions were moderate to difficult, but here as the questions which you see are not like the traditional questions which depends on the categories of the species, which depends on somewhat the innovation which is seen in climate change or global warming phenomena. So they are from the examples, and the species which are asked makes the questions bit difficult in the context. Right. So by this we conclude the session on ecology and environment. Thank you.